Welcome to the Leadership Question of the Day podcast. I'm your host, Jono White. I'm the founder and principal consultant of Clarity. We are an Australian consultancy that works with leaders around the world, and our passion is to invest in people to become everything they're meant to be in order to fill the world with healthy organizations that people love to work for and customers line up to buy from. Let's jump straight into today's leadership question. How great is your strategic plan? That's a leadership question of today. And I don't just want to ask you if you have a strategic plan. I want to ask you how great your strategic plan is. And whether you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, whether you're leading an organization with 100,000 people, or maybe you're a middle manager and you aren't responsible for the strategic plan, but your organization has one. Well, this is a good question to think about for you, because even if you're not currently in a role where you develop it, I want to explain why it's so important to have a great strategic plan and how to work out if you have a great strategic plan. I remember recently I was chatting on a podcast, on another podcast, the Leadership Conversations podcast, with a fantastic Australian leader who is doing brilliant work in the profit for purpose space around strategic planning. And the thing that I enjoyed most about what she said, Amanda Tobler is the leader. Amanda talked about her strategic plan for CS1, the organization she leads, being an incredibly interactive and engaging process. They didn't just sit in a room, lock all the doors, and come up with something together as an executive team and with the board. They actually spent, and get this, 18 months listening to their people, to stakeholders, to the parents of kids who are involved in their profit for purpose organization. They listened and listened and listened, and then they put together this strategic plan. And I said to Amanda, and it's on the podcast if you go and listen to it. Right now, it hasn't been released yet, but it will be published very soon. And I said to her, Amanda, this is incredibly concise. It's 4 pages long for 18 months of work. And that's what I love about it. There's a few things that make a great strategic plan that Amanda really, I think she's a great example of having a great strategic plan. And I believe there's really 3 things, okay? The first thing is you need to engage people when you make the strategic plan. The strategic planning should be in my opinion, and I have to be careful using this word because not everyone loves the same things I do, but it should be a fun process. It should be an engaging process. Your people should enjoy it. Your staff, your employees, your volunteers, your customers, other stakeholders, your partners that you work with in business should enjoy this process, because what you're wanting to do when you're putting your strategic plan together, it's an incredible opportunity to be innovative, to take a leap and actually say, you know what, we're going to double down on this area because we see that is for the next 5 years where we really need to double down on. Or what Amanda did really well is actually articulate, this is the lens. For them, it was a lot about connection. And they went through COVID with this strategic plan, and instead of having to throw it out because it became irrelevant, it became more important than ever because they realized connection is going to look different now that there's a global pandemic. What does that mean? So it was actually the same strategic plan, the same filter, but different decisions. So a great strategic plan, I believe, starts with engaging. And if you're looking for a book on that, I'd highly recommend Blue Ocean Strategy. Go and read Blue Ocean Strategy and the follow-up Blue Ocean Shift. And that's a new take on strategic planning. When I say new, it's about 15 years old, or 20 years old. But it is a different take on strategic planning. So go and read those books. The second thing that makes a strategic plan, a great strategic plan, is that you use it. This sounds really overly simplistic, and it probably is, but it's another question. It almost needs its own episode. How often do you review your strategic plan? And I can feel the leaders out there grimacing, going, Jono, do you have to ask me that question? We review it irregularly. I don't know. You should be looking at it. If it's a great strategic plan, it should come out, as Amanda talks about in the podcast, every single board meeting, every leadership team meeting. It should be used through your organization, because this is setting a direction, creating filters. A great strategic plan is used all the time. And the third thing I'd say about a strategic plan is that a strategic plan should take you towards a better future. A strategic plan should have an element of stretching in it. When you see a strategic plan, it should light up your eyes and your board's eyes and your executive team's eyes. And when you have a new staff member come on, it should be the document you can't wait to get out and go through with them, because it talks about this is where we are and this is where we're going. And if your strategic plan can't communicate that succinctly, then it may not be a great strategic plan. So go and read Blue Ocean Strategy. That's the leadership question for today. How great is your strategic plan? And don't forget, if you are looking to do strategic planning, then that is something that we can help with at Clarity. And really what I'm interested in is great strategic planning and helping leaders to put together a great strategic plan that's truly innovative, that actually answers the question, how can we make the biggest difference and positive impact in our world doing what we're doing? And so you can reach out to me at Clarity, consultclarity.org, if you're interested in that. I hope today's leadership question has helped you in your leadership and put a stone in your shoe. That's what I love to say, is that my role, I believe, working with leaders is about putting a stone in your shoe. So something you were really comfortable with, now you're walking a little bit uncomfortably, going, is there a better way to do this? How do I handle this? And that's because no growth is comfortable. So I hope that's okay. I appreciate you taking the time. I don't take it lightly. And if you are just joining us, then make sure you check out our website, consultclarity.org, consultclarity.org. We have so much free content on there for you, including the 7 Questions on Leadership series. So more than 1,500 leaders around the world, different roles, different sectors, have filled out the 7 questions on leadership. In-depth answers on how they lead, what they've found most challenging, how they structure their time, what book or books have been most significant for them. There is so much gold on there. You could go and basically live in that part of our website for a few weeks, I think. So make sure you go and check that out. It's free. And hey, we would love to interview you for our 7 Questions on Leadership series. Your leadership, based on your context, your life, and your experience, I believe that you can bring something that other leaders can learn from. I truly do. And so it's completely free to get involved. It's a great way to give back if you're loving this content. And you can do that by going to consultclarity.org/7-questions-interest, or just Google consultclarity.org 7 questions interest, and then click on the page, fill out the form to express your interest, and we can get you going to fill out the 7 questions on leadership. We also have a free resource on our website. It's right at the top, consultclarity.org on our homepage, and it's called the Leadership Survival Guide. It's a 57-page ebook with interviews from 10 world-class leaders, and it's right there for you to download. It's completely free and awesome resource. It's very popular, so check that out. We also have a daily email, and I know that our more than 15,000 leaders who subscribe get a lot of value from that. We highlight the best content from our blogs, from our podcasts, from our books and books we're reading. It also gives you exclusive and limited access and early access to our masterclasses and workshops. So I really try to make it something as helpful and as valuable as possible. That's my commitment. And so go to consultclarity.org/subscribe if you're interested in all things leadership, and you can become part of that community. Now, my gift to you with everything we're doing, particularly with this podcast, the Leadership Question of the Day, is to work really hard to provide the best leadership content to invest in you and your leadership. Your gift to me would be this. If you're finding this helpful, if this helps you in your leadership, then there is something you can do that makes a massive difference, and that is to write a review or rate our content. Wherever you're listening or watching, rate our content, write a review, make sure you subscribe or follow. It might seem small to you to do that, but it adds up and it helps us to help more leaders become the best they can be. It also means a lot to me personally whenever I see you sharing our content, so thank you so much for that. If you do share it on social media, then look for me, John O'White, and try to tag me, and look for Clarity and tag us. And I promise we are always looking for content shared by our community. When people share our content, we're looking to engage with you. And there's also a chance that we may actually share what you write as a post with our followers. So if you do that, there's a chance you'll be shared as well. Last of all, you can check out my book called Step Up or Step Out: How to Deal with Difficult People Even If You Hate Conflict. I wrote this book because more than 50% of the leaders I coach, 50% of the sessions, where I coach leaders, this comes up again and again and again. And it's leaders saying, Jono, how do I deal with this difficult person? Or how do I deal with this person? And I'm finding it so difficult. We're just on a different wavelength. And that's because difficult conversations are difficult. And I find this is one of the biggest challenges for leaders in the world today. And that's where Step Up or Step Out is a 3-step process to help you deal well with difficult people. I really believe it's a book that can help you in your leadership. So go and check that out. It's on Amazon, Step Up or Step Out, Jono White. If you just look that up, or go to store.consultclarity.org/book and you can get it there. Well, thank you so much for listening. We're going to be back with a new episode of the Leadership Question of the Day next time. I hope today has helped you take another step towards becoming everything you're meant to be. We'll see you next time.